Okay, welcome back again. Okay, so we are talking about the general precautions. So as we seen, we have to survey the site for the identification of all the utilities which are uh, going through the site which we are planning for excavation. Then making sure that proper lighting and ventilation is available, and also controlling of gas, vapors, or dust. So within the safe limits, fire precautions, safe means of access, stability of the ground, position of the public utility services such as electric, telephone cables, water, gas, and also severe lines, effect on adjacent buildings, structures, roadways, bridges, etc. Competent person should make a survey and give permission to work. So again, here are two scenarios where we do projects in the public. So where you do projects within your controlled premises. When I say outside, where there's somebody we can allot, they do a survey and give the report. In other case, within the premises, mostly will depend on projects and maintenance team, so that they will know the routing of the cables and also the pipelines or utility pipelines which they are passing through in the site location. If necessary, isolation of underground utility services should be affected by a due permission or otherwise be protected. Chemical waste and contamination should be safely removed. So underground utilities need an isolation. If it is identified, so we have to isolate those services before doing the excavation. In case of any contamination, it has to be removed safely. And no load vehicle or material should be moved or sagged near the edge of the excavation unless shoring or piling is done to prevent the slide from collapsing. So already we discussed this. So until unless you have not protected the land, you are not supposed to do any loading or movement of heavy vehicles at the edge of the excavation. All supports such as probes, wedges, etc., should be regularly checked, and also deflection or distortion. All the slides should be fenced by a barrier at least 1 meter, and danger notice or red signals, and also light to be provided. So in case of deep excavations, those pits has to be protected with a barricade with a red color indication lights, especially in the nights. Sometimes we do heavy excavation, 3-4 meter excavations will be there. So in such a deep, it will be risky for the people who work nearby. So that it is always necessity to have a hard barricade along with indicator lighting, flash lighting, so that people will understand, okay, there is a hazard which is present. And cutting shall be done from the top to bottom. No undercutting of the side shall be allowed. This is what we are talking about. Whenever you are doing, it has to do from the top to bottom. You should not do from the bottom. When you say undercutting, if you are doing from the bottom, like doing caving, so that is not allowed. In narrow trenches, a ladder should be extended from bottom to the top, 1 meter above the ground surface. Erosion of soil over excavated pits or trenches, etc., should be prevented from running water by dewatering the pumps, etc. A road barrier at a distance should be provided if road is to be blocked, and helmets or gumboots should be given to all the workers working inside. So whoever working inside the uh, this excavation, there you have to give a proper safety PPs. In large scale excavations of dams or huge buildings, highways and railways, etc., accidents occur mostly due to vehicles, dumpers, and trucks. Therefore, such vehicles must be checked for warning sirens, horns, lights, signals, reverse alarm, etc. Rules of driving should be enforced and sufficient lighting should be prevented for night works. So, how we can prevent accidents from this vehicle movement in the facility? Any observations or any guess apart from this? How we can prevent? How we can prevent accidents from this heavy vehicles? Mm-hmm. No. No one. Okay, fine, no problem. So when you talk about this handling of these large vehicles, first of all, we have to start from the basics. So when you're uh, planning and such an activity, so the accident happens or the hazards can be created from different directions. So there we basically take an approach of man, material, method. Okay, man, machine, material, and method. So if you take about this large excavation dams or vehicles, there the machines or have a major prone to hazards. So with that, how we can have? So if you talk about men, so you take about any activity. So you have to take this four major parts: men, machine, material, and method. So my men should be skillful. He should know about what are the potential hazards associated with. He know how to perform that activity, and he know what are the safety precautions to be carried out, and he know what kind of emergency situations can arise. And although he know in case of any emergency what to do, and also he know what are the safety practices to be followed. So my man is safe. He is very good guy. He will follow everything. Then I talk about a machine. So I have to check for my machine. So is it my machine is having all the safety controls? My men is know about these safety controls how I can operate, or this machine is having uh, auto cut off controls if it is overloaded or it is exceeding at the high operations. All the guards of the machine is properly in place. Okay. Then we have material. What type of material you're using? So when I talk about material, exposing to that material, or if the material is hazardous, how you are handling, and also if the material is corrosive in nature, and also if you are meddling any soft materials or any food ingredients. So there you will not have any hazard associated with those kind of material. Then you have to think about the hazards. What are the hazards which will arise from the materials which I am using? Okay. Then fourth is method, in the sense the method which you are using or executing the activity. It is a kind of जो तरीका बोलता है ना, जो आपकी तरीका क्या है, how you are planning to execute. Is my the method is it a safe method, or it is a safe approach to perform, or is there any alternative methods are available in the market to execute the activity? All these things we will see. Anything, any activity, either it is in a construction, oil and gas sector, chemical industry, or is there any engineering industry, automobile, or any waste food processing industry, or FMCG, anywhere you can approach the same method, so that you can able to effectively bring the controls in place. So you understand about your people, you will understand about your equipment, you will understand about the materials which you are going to handle or you are handling, and also you understand about your methods. Sometimes you will not have methods itself, so based on the depends on experience of the people, you used to uh, depend on the people experience. So there you can start developing a method. Those are nothing but standard operating procedures or method statements, work instructions, safe operating procedures. So different organizations, they'll have different names, so they will prepare. Okay, yeah. And the site conditions also very important. So when you talk about my mission is safe, my people are very good, then my methods are very good, then the interaction, so man and mission interaction, that is also should be verified, so that we can able to prevent the accidents. Okay. Then we have drilling, loading, and blasting. So these are the activities which are associated with the excavation activity. So before starting of the drilling, any presence of unfired explosive should be carefully checked. No drilling should be allowed in butts and also old holes. When I say drilling, it is for preparation of blasting activity. So when I talk about any rock, bedrocks will be there once you go for certain depth of excavation. It is not possibility of every site, but wherever there is a rock bed is available in the area, there you will see the do the drilling, and you will blast the rock. So you should not do drilling on the old holes. So before drilling, loose or any disintegrated rock should be removed by hand tools and pneumatic jacks and hammers to protect the driller against the fall of the material. Where this is not possible, a protective canopy or overhead screen should be provided. So loose rocks will be there, so you have to take out all the loose rocks, so that that driller who is making the holes, he will be protected. Okay. And the holes are drilled by pneumatic hand tools, drills to a specific pattern, and compressed air hoses should have a self-locked couplings, and drillers should wear safety helmet, gloves, and also gumboots and ear protection. Maybe you would have seen the tractor which is attached with pneumatic breakers. Hope you people have seen, especially in the roadside also. They used to do these kind of excavations or breaking of the concrete. Same machines they use for the making the drills to insert the detonators to blast the rocks. After checking the drilling pattern and depth, the drilling's crew is withdraw from the site with all the drilling equipment and accessories. Then the blasting foreman will check the all the holes to be loaded by the explosives and detonators for the blasting. And transportation, storage, handling of use of explosives are governed by the explosive acts and rules. So these guys will have the specific license and authorization from this explosives department, which are from the PESO. So only those people will carry all these explosive materials and the detonators. Okay. And no hole should be loaded except those which are to be fired in the next round of blasting. So basically, we do a series of blasting. So if they've made 100 holes, sometimes we do in the first instant we blast only 50, or in the second instant we add blast 50. So if you are planning only 50, you have to fill the explosive materials only for the 50 holes. Holes loaded during one shift should be fired in the same shift, and the diameter of the hole should be at least 3 more than the dia of the cartridge. When you say cartridge, it is a kind of gel kind of material. It should be more than the dia of the cartridge so that the cartridge can go inside the hole. To avoid the misfires, the detonator should be completely inserted lengthwise in the cartridge and the fastened in such a manner that it cannot be pulled out accidentally. So it has to be inserted. It is the cartridge will be basically a gel kind of material. Then these detonators will be inserted into that gel kind of metal. Then together they will blast. Okay, so the detonators we have to insert in such a way that sometimes accidentally it should not come out. So basically what will happen, once if they do a drilling on the complete a big rock in certain pattern, then they will insert the gel detonators in the gel, and they will put the all the, I mean, gel in the sense cartridges, they'll put the everything inside, then they will connect to charge the detonators. Once they charge, they can blast. Okay, then the cartridges are not forced into the holes, so this is very important. The cartridge should can enter inside freely. The cap clamp fires or proper design should be used for clamping or blasting cap into the fuse, and a knife or a teeth shall not be used for this purpose. The intensity of charge to be loaded must be well calculated and also safe enough to prevent the damage to the nearby structures due to shock and vibration resulting from the explosion. So when I say intensity of charge, so the amount of the size of the cartridges which are using, you have choose in such a way that it should not impact the adjacent structures. So basically what will happen, as I seen, I'm explaining my experience here. Two methods, basic methods we use. Once they insert all these cartridges and detonators, they will dump a loose soil over the all these explosives, I mean the detonators, and they will blast. In other case, they use the heavy rubber mats. So if you see the tires, so once you cut the tire, it become a piece of material. So they will use these rubber mats, which are weighing up to 2 to 3 ton or 4 to 5 ton, even sometimes into 6 to 7 ton also will be there. They'll add so many rubber mats joined together, then they use this rubber mat over that, then above the rubber mat again they will apply the loose soil so that it can able to prevent the flying particles and also the impact of the blast. Somehow maximum it can able to reduce the impact so that we can safeguard the people from the flying particles. Okay, so with this I'll jump into other presentation. Okay, that is about blasting activity. I'm sharing again. Just a second. Okay, then shoring and underpinning. So for the excavated area, so shoring and underpinning are required to stop settlement of a weak foundation, to strengthen the foundation to carry or added loads, to provide support because of adjacent operations, and to prevent the deterioration of the foundation material. So basically will help, the shoring will help us or support us for the weak foundation from the collapse. Shoring refers to removal of temporary supports after completion of the job, and underpinning refers to provide permanent supports which remain in place even after completion of the job. When I say underpinning, these are the permanent supports. When I say shoring, these are temporary supports. Then shoring requires skilled workers and also cordoning of the area due to hazardous nature of the job. And it is to be carried out under constant supervision and control of a qualified and also experienced engineer. The jack needles and also temporary support should be adequate capacity and strength to raise the structure. Sometimes shoring or the underpinning will be prepared in such a way, and it has to be cordoned off based on the hazard of nature of the area. And also you should have proper supervision and control by the qualified engineers to execute this activity. Then types of shores available are the racking or flying, a needle beam or post. The shores and needles to be underpinned must be designed to withstand the anticipated load. So don't get confused or worried with all these words. So nowhere in examinations will ask you about how you apply a shoring and all. You will get only the basic questions in the examination. Maybe in a 1 month of time we'll use to cover all those papers as well. And underpinning is useful to stop settlement of the structure. So when I say underpinning, nowadays you would have seen in the news as also people are lifting and shifting their houses a few meters or few feet away with this underpinning or by the jacking method, so that they can take the complete house or structure and move it aside. To give more support by a new foundations or withstand added load or any structure, this work is to be done rapidly in a limited space and with a great care to the existing structure. Adequate lateral bracings help to above or need of underpinning and interior walls or columns. Okay. If any damage results during the underpinning, a report is required, and it is the best to wait till the settlement of the lateral movement of or seized. So sometimes, in case of any damage or movement of the vehicle or do movement of the foundations, then you have to wait and make it settle. Once it is settled, you can take the further precautions. So here you see the temporary supports shoring. There is a pipeline which is going inside. This is the shoring. Here we are using the sheets to support. Here you have the jacks, so that it can extend or take the load or the pressure which is coming from the adjacent sides of the soil. Okay. So generally two methods are available for the underpinning, a pit method and the steel cylinder, or any the season method. A pit method is used where a new foundation is not to be very deep. In the other method, steel cylinders or the seasons are placed under the existing foundation and the sunk to the rack wherever till the rock is available. Skilled workers are required to be restricted availability of the working space and also headroom. All the shoring of the column is removed at the end, so it is for the temporary. Then tunneling and shafting. So again, these tunnels, as we know, basically we use these tunnels for the making of the roads or connection purposes, which is go through heavy hills or mountains. The tunnels are required for the roadways and also railways through the mountains and also hydropower station undergrounds. So for the hydropower stations also we use this tunneling. So through these tunnels, the water is routed to the turbines. Though so at the height, the turbine will be rotated based on the water pressure. Then it can generate a power supply. So irrigation of water, drainage and mining of the minerals, storage of hazardous waste, and defense installations, underground shelters, etc. So these are the various areas we can use this tunneling process. So tunneling may be in a soft ground with a clay, sand, or gravel, or any soft earth, or sometimes we may face a rock as well. So short front tunneling is carried out by force pulling or needle beam or timber liner plates, shield and also liner plates, and the plenum process and compressed air rock. And rock tunneling is carried out by the drilling, blasting, mucking, or any other machines which may full force boring machines or header with rotary milling head or any telescopic boom. When you say rotary milling, it is a kind of a drill machine application. When you say a drill machine application, what will happen? So the drill will completely grind or take out the material which is front of the drill head. So you take out the metal, then it can able to penetrate inside the rock or inside the piece of material. Same way, if you see any tunneling activity with a drill, it is in a heavy drill where it can make the hole. It can crush all these rocks, or it can powder form. Then we will take out the debris on continuous basis. Safety measures include well maintained. Just a second. Tunneling. Yeah, this is how it looks. So in the front end, you will have this all the cutting blades. So where it is a rotating part. It will take out the soil which is in front, whatever the soil or rock in its path. Then it can take out the complete material. So you'll have the conveyors within this arrangement. So whatever the mud which is generated or the soil which is collected will be taken out on continuous basis. Okay. Safety measures include a well-maintained equipment and tools. They are testing by competent persons, speedy removal of debris, refuse and trash, safe and also adequate walkways, proper drainage and water pumping is required. Good lighting, use of helmet, gumboots and goggles by the workers. A jumbo platform with a guardrails, tow boards to the work area, and entire face of the tunnel to be drilled. And pneumatic drills and with pusher legs, wet drilling for the dust control. Pneumatic couplings with a self-locking coupling, separate transport vehicles of explosives and also detonators, and their space, separate magazines, safe handling of explosives and detonators, evidence of spark, no smoking in explosive area shall be all the precautions methods in foregoing for drilling or loading, blasting, and holgay. Holgay is nothing but the waste. So basically, when you are doing these activities, we should be testing by the competent persons first, based on the type of the soil. It is a raw soil and a rock soil which is available. Then we look for speedy removal of debris. Depends on the debris means the waste which is generated. It should be removed on immediate basis. Then adequate walkways for the people movement and also proper drainage system. Sometimes what will happen, when you start doing drilling, there will be a huge amount of dust it will generate, so that you will apply a water so that dust suppression can happen. Otherwise what will happen in this kind of tunneling activity, there they use the exhaust system throughout the length of the tunnel, so that we use the exhaust systems. Based on the dust which is generated, it will try to suck out. And also the fresh air system also, it we used to pump inside the tunnels to give a cooling effect for the people who are working inside the tunnel. And also drainage facility and water pumping if required, in case of any water required, that also we have to take care. And good lighting. So as we know, if it is a tunnel, it is a kind of cave kind of setup. Maybe most of the people, you would have experienced the cave, how the caves look like. So once you enter it, is if it is there is no proper lights are arranged, so it will completely dark. Even if the person who is sitting adjacent to a few inches away, also you can't able to see them. Such a low light, I mean availability of light within the caves. So there we need to provide proper lighting in that area. Okay. Then we have use of helmet and gumboots and goggles by the workers. So we have to proper.
Sir, you are not audible.
Platform. Okay. So for now, I'm stopping here. We have 30 seconds, so we can continue tomorrow. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, we can discuss.
Sir, tomorrow classes?
Morning, morning, morning.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
we have not received some PPT from yourself.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll
PPT
share
not
the PPTs. Yes, 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 yes. I'll share the
please last.
PPTs.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Only one is pending. That is IS 108. I have not given. I think rest you got Lakshmi Das. Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give that.